Good morning, guys. Konnichiwa. Welcome to our second part of our series where we are learning about the country of Japan. So let's review. Who remembers what continent is the country of Japan on? Yes, it is on the continent of Asia. Remember? Here's our map, and Asia is this yellow section here. We live in the United States in North America, and Asia is over here. And Japan is a group of islands, so I'll show you here. Right here, along the side next to Korea and China. And do you remember what ocean is next to Japan? It's the same one that is next to us in California. Yes, that is the Pacific Ocean. Good job. Now let's go ahead and learn some more about Japan. I'm very excited to share with you today. All right. Do you remember Miyako, our friend Miyako? Well, Miyako has invited us to have lunch with her. We will take off our shoes at the door because the Japanese people do not wear shoes in the house. Miyako will give us slippers to wear. We sit on cushions around a table with short legs. Soon we are eating sushi and drinking green tea. This sushi is made from rice and fish and vegetables. We will get more practice eating with chopsticks because the Japanese eat with them too. How many of you have ever tried to eat your food with chopsticks before? Is it easy or is it hard for you? Yeah, well, I tried my best, and I did better than when I first got there, when I visited Japan. But that's what they use, and they can eat anything with chopsticks. So let's continue learning about Japan. In Japan, it is good manners to slurp your soup loudly. Can you imagine that this is a sign that your hostess, that shows the hostess, the person that made the food or is the one that is having you over to their house, that shows that you enjoy the food and that you really love it. So, and that happened to me. I went to have a soup called ramen, and when I ate it, my friend said, "You have to slurp." And so it was kind of funny because my mommy always told me, "Better not slurp when you eat your food." But in Japan, you can slurp all you want. All right. Next, the Japanese often dress up in kimonos for special days. But most of the time they'll wear clothes that look like ours. But on special occasions like graduations or special holidays, they will wear these kimonos, which basically kind of look like a robe or a dress, but they are very beautiful, and a lot of them are made by hand, and they're very, very special. Now, some Japanese, they will live in apartments and homes that look like ours, but many people live in homes like Miyako. And inside the walls in Miyako's house are made of paper. They can slide them open or close to make the rooms bigger or smaller. They do not sleep on beds like ours. They sleep on a futon. Can you say that? A futon is like a warm padded comforter. Some Americans are sleeping on futons now too. And Japanese homes have beautiful gardens. Many have fountains and koi fish in their garden ponds. So as you can see, there's a picture of a garden and the ponds that have the fish in them that we learned a little bit about yesterday. And when I was in Japan, I also got to sleep on one of these futon beds, and it was really fun because it was almost like a sleepover with my friend, and we got to just talk, and it was a lot of fun. So let's keep talking about this. We've got Japanese children. They are taught to be very polite to their teachers at school. Miyako bows to her teacher when she comes to school in the morning and bows again when she leaves in the afternoons. When I went to Japan, I was helping my friend teach an English class, and all the students that came in, if they were little or if they were older, all of them would bow, and we wouldn't shake hands, but we would bow to each other and say konnichiwa and greet each other that way. Miyako has a lot of homework to do. Japanese children work hard in school. Miyako practices a long time to make her writing just right. In Japan, a lot of the children there, they go to school all day just like we do and you do. But after they go to school, they will go to another English school so that they can learn how to speak English. Or they will learn a sport or something and they will go to that right after. So they will be in school till dinner time or even past dinner time. So imagine that. That's a lot of work, isn't it? They like to work really hard. All right. Now, boys in Japan, they love to play baseball, just as we do. Girls like softball, and the children also enjoy other sports like swimming and volleyball. And where I went, one of the sports and PE activities that the kids got to do was skiing. Do you remember yesterday when we talked about how Japan is made out of, basically it's just all mountains, and that's why they have to do the terracing with their crops? Well, since there are so many mountains, and since people live on the mountains or right next to it, an easy way to do exercise and for schools is to go skiing. So that's normally like a special fun sport or activity that we like to do in California, but in Japan, that's something they like to do for PE. Like we like to do soccer, they go skiing. So that's pretty cool. And then also, if you look at the Japanese flag is a white flag with a red circle in the middle. And the red circle on the Japanese flag stands for the sun. Now, even though Japan is such a small country, did you know that they make more cars than any other country in the world, except for the United States? They are amazing. They have amazing cars and they work so hard to do everything to the very best that they can. And you can see that in their work and in everything they do. When I went to even marketplaces to go get food or see their stores, everything was perfect and beautiful, and every worker did things with such care and they always did their best. So I just love that about their culture and their country, and that they're very kind and respectful. So if my friends are watching from Japan, I miss you guys, and I'm so thankful that I get to teach my class about Japan today. And so let's go ahead and review and talk about our paper that we're going to work on today. So if you take out your paper, it's page 127 and 128. So first thing you're going to want to do is to write your name at the top, of course. And then after that, we're going to talk about the pictures. Japan is called the land of the rising sun. And what you're going to do is color the circle on the Japanese flag. Remember, what color is that circle going to be? Red. That is correct. Awesome job. And then down below it says, the Japanese make many of these and sell them to other countries. What is it? That's right. They make cars, and a lot of them. So go ahead, and what you're going to do is connect the dots. You're going to start on number 1 and then go carefully to each number so you can create a picture of a car. And then when you're done, you can color that car whatever color you would like. All right. Then on the back on page 128, let's look at these pictures. It says, Mount Fuji is one of the most beautiful mountains in the world. And that is one of the mountains of Japan. And then we have Japan has many pretty gardens. As you can see, it's very green and beautiful. They love the ponds, and when I got to go to Japan, they had a beautiful garden right in the middle of a city, and it was so peaceful and beautiful, just like this picture here. So enjoy those pictures and finish that page on your own. But let's review and ask some questions before we go. My first question is, how is a Japanese home different from yours? Did you say the low tables, the tables that are really low to the ground? Or the special kind of beds called futons? Yes. And then also, what kind of walls did they have? Yes, they were made out of paper and then they could move them. Exactly. Now, what might you have for lunch in Japan? If you said rice or sushi or fish and vegetables, you'd be correct. And then what kind of drink do they like to use in Japan? Yes, green tea. Anytime you go visit someone at their house, they always like to serve some sort of cracker or cookie and tea. And then my next question is, what sports do the Japanese like to play? If you said baseball or softball or swimming or volleyball or even skiing, you're correct. Nice job. Now, do you think being polite and working hard in school will help you learn more? Yes, I would agree. The better you listen and do your very best, even if things are hard, you're going to learn a lot. And I can guarantee you that the Japanese students learn so much and they accomplish so much because they work so hard and are really respectful as well. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us in one of my favorite countries that we've learned about. And keep learning and coloring those pictures from your paper. And we will see you in our next lesson where we learn about another really exciting country. And until then, we'll see you then. Bye.